Never actually watched a zombie apocalypse show or movie outside of, what was the Will Smith movie where he's in New York and he's all by himself? That's a zombie apocalypse movie, isn't it? I remember he's jogging in the treadmill, or maybe he's jogging through New York. There's nobody else around. Remember that? What is it? I Am Legend. I Am Legend. There you go. Good one. Okay. Speaking of zombie apocalypse or the end of the world, there are many of you who know that there's a cottage industry, some of my coworkers here, some at other places, that have predicted the end of the Patriots regime. And I kind of feel like this is an end of days, end of time. Use the Bible and find some date, sort of preacher parallel. Look, at some point, this place is going to come to an end. Whether it's the pollution or crazy people arming countries and nuclear warheads, or maybe just an asteroid. At some point, you're going to get it right. All worlds, all time do in fact end. Father Time, as we've been told, is undefeated. And that's who, like my buddy Rob Parker, that's who Rob Parker is. Well, I bet Skip Bayless that the Patriots wouldn't reach the AFC Championship game. Like that is really not that outlandish a pick. But if he's right, he'll do the victory lap. But he's been calling the Patriots' demise for the last 5 years. 2012, in fact. That's 7 years. He said they'll never win another Super Bowl. Won a couple since. But again, he's not alone. And he's actually not wrong for the prediction. Because most guys get in their late 30s and they fade. And the teams don't know how to handle it and protect them. And there's this weird situation where, like Phillip Rivers, he's kind of done, but you don't want, if he's got one last good year, you don't want to have that last good year in a different uniform, right? You don't want to be the Colts watching Peyton Manning win it with the Denver Broncos, do you? And he didn't have a good year that year, but he had 50 touchdowns coming off the next year. So I look at this thing, and I think it's fascinating to me. How many people are doing victory laps in attaboys when, one, the playoffs have not been played. Two, even if they do lose, remember, it's not like they've been bad this year. And you can sit here and tell me, well, the division is bad. Is it? Look, do I think their bad division has helped them for the 20 years of success? Absolutely. But the Jets are 7-9. And remember, they end up 7-6 with Sam Darnold at quarterback. The Bills are 10-6 and in the playoffs. They're not the worst division in the AFC. They're not close to the worst division in football. They're actually a better division than the West. A similar division to the South. And to the North. Like, you want to tell me that they're not better than the North? Browns or Jets, who would you rather take right now? That's the third best team. Dolphins, as bad as they are, won 5 games this year. So you actually win a pretty good division. You might have won the best division in the AFC. You finish at 12-4, which is tied for the second best record in the AFC. And people are doing victory laps like they called it? Don't get me wrong. At some point, and maybe this is the point where the Patriots Dynasty ends. They get beat at home by the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs by a former player, former coach, who's a head coach of the Titans, and some of their former players. That's a possibility. Ryan Tannehill, a former rival, is a quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. Like, there's a lot of familiarity. Breeds contempt. There's the cliche for you. But like this idea, this is like the guy who said, the end of the world is coming on January 16th, 2009. No, wait, 2019. Then it happens in February of 2040. And you're like, yeah, I just got my dates wrong. But I called it. That's everybody calling the Patriots' demise. I'm not saying Rob didn't have good reason. It didn't look good if you go back 7 years ago. It did look like the league might have passed them by. They have jettisoned player after player after player. And there has been some bitter feelings from some of those players, like a Malcolm Butler, even if he didn't say it outwardly. They've lost assistants. They've lost games. But through it all, here they are again. 12-4, home playoff game. And as much as we think of them as some sort of feeble AFC East champion, the AFC East produced 2 double-digit win teams, and they're plus 195 in the plus-minus, which is better than everybody in the AFC, with the exception of the Baltimore Ravens, who's the best team. I feel like those of you who have predicted the Patriots' demise are the preacher guy who went on TV and made the bold prediction that the end was near, and now when the end appears near, you're taking credit for a previous prediction, which, like, look, the numbers will tell you that the atmospheric carbon dioxide levels are rising. The ice caps are melting. The water is rising. We're supposedly over 8 billion people, and we may have more than 9 because so many of them were not counted for. Like, there's plenty of signs that if you're predicting the end, you made the right call. There's plenty of signs that for the Patriots, you predicted the end, you made the right call. But that doesn't mean you're some sort of savant and you've broken through with your analysis differently than anybody else. Hey, what up? Doug Gottlieb here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Fox Sports Radio. You can catch my show, all the shows on Fox Sports Radio, unique interviews, strong takes, just interesting discussion on the sports topic of the day, of the week, of the month. It's all encompassing. It's everything you need right here on YouTube. Subscribe.